Good afternoon, everyone. It's time for the 2015-16 edition of the Reinhardt Coaches Show. Hello again. I'm John Morgo, along with Reinhardt Eagle football coach Drew Cronic. Jason Haynes not available to be with us today, so I'm kind of pinch hitting for this inaugural edition of the Reinhardt Coaches Show as we get ready to start the 2015-16 calendar year. And of course, it's mid-August. The sun is blazing. Everything's hot and football practice is getting going. We are, well, as we're filming this day, we are 2 weeks away from the Reinhardt opener against Point University, August 29th, down in Valley, Alabama. That's across the river from Columbus, Georgia. And Coach, first of all, you are in the hot seat right now. Your father owned this chair for the last 2 seasons, but now there has been a changing of the guard. Reinhardt is all your team. And just tell us about how this summer has been, how the spring and summer has been adjustment for you.
Well, it's been interesting. It's been fun. I've learned a lot. There were a lot of things I was already doing. That's been an easy transition. But obviously, when the buck stops with you, and you get to make the final decision, those things, it adds a little something different. The thing I was blessed with was my first head job. I was already here. I already knew the people. Already knew the problems. I knew the solutions. So knew the kids knew me. So I couldn't imagine a transition being any easier, for your first head coaching job.
Offensive coordinator, so moving into the head coaching ranks. So the terminology is going to remain the same. And that when you have a transition, normally that is pretty much the big problem for teams to overcome, learning the new system. Right. But the system right now is just seamless, as you said.
Should be. I mean, offensively, we're going to be who we are, and you always try to stay one step ahead. You try to evolve and do, little things differently every year just to, make people have to work on something else. But we're still going to be, doing what we've been doing. We've had some success offensively here. It's about putting kids in the right situations to be successful. So we'll try to always adapt what we're doing to what our kids do well. And obviously we try to recruit into our system. On the defense side of the ball, there's been some little bit of change with Coach Tommy Scott taking over as defense coordinator, but the terminology has not changed. Their base fronts and all the things coverage-wise they're doing have just changed just a little bit. So I think it's been a pretty smooth transition as far as the kids learning what we're doing and the schemes being, not a lot different from what we've had.
And it was a bit of a surprise to the Reinhardt community, to Cherokee County, when Dr. Cronic did step aside. I believe the original plan was for him to coach this season and then move out, but health problems kind of got in the way of that, and he stepped aside right after spring practice. How is your father doing?
He's doing good. He's been playing a lot of golf, and enjoying himself. He will travel some, but he'll be around. He'll still be a dad. He's very invested in what's going on here and cares about, this program. And so his health, he's got a couple things, nothing major. He's at, doing some things with his heart to make sure his heart's in rhythm and that he's got plenty of energy and those kind of things. But like I said, he's been swinging the golf clubs and been hanging out with his wife and so I know they've been enjoying. I asked him the other day how do you feel about everything? He said, I'm glad I'm sleeping in whenever I want to sleep in and going and do what I want to do. So, but he'll be around. He'll still be he'll be a fixture here during the fall.
And speaking of which, this is probably the time when, if you step aside from coaching, this will be the time that the itch will start to come back. It's a Friday, Saturday. You should be game planning. You should be reviewing film. But he's not. But he's not doing that. Has that been a problem? Has he handled that well?
I haven't got a single phone call telling me what we ought to be doing. And to be honest with you, he has access to our film. I know he watches our practices at home. So, but he has not called or said, hey, you need to be doing this or whatever. But I'll talk to him every once in a while. He'll ask me about certain kids. So he's looking at the practices on film and other things because everything's online now,
Oh,
so,
yes.
So I know he will kind of keep his interest going, and he will kind of scratch that itch by just kind of from afar watching what's going on and keeping his. But I'll get a phone call at some point going, what are you doing? You need to do this. I'll get a phone call at some point. So
now has the procedures for other things, the day-to-day season procedures, is that going to change, like how we prepare for road trips, how we prepare for home games? Will that change at all?
Well, I'll tell you this, we're not changing a single thing about how we prepare for road games. Right now, when we travel and we stay in a hotel, we're 9-0 as a program, which is amazing. We have not played as well at home, so I will change some things just to shake it up a little bit about how we approach, try to get our kids a little more focused at home. We've got a really good group of kids. Our leadership right now is outstanding. I really enjoy these kids, and so I think that'll play a big role in us just being more mature and being able to handle things. I think at home sometimes maybe there were some distractions, but we're going to do everything we can to eliminate any of those things because we need to play better at home.
Exactly. And after 2 years, it's an absolutely amazing stat. This Reinhardt program is undefeated outside the state of Georgia. And in a very weird stat, one that I know you're going to want to change, Reinhardt football has more wins in Kentucky than they do Georgia.
Right.
It's a very strange stat.
And a lot of that is about who you play and matchups and all that. So you can hang a little bit of it on that. But at the same time, when you look at it and you go, you're 9-0 on the road, we're doing some things right. I got Ronnie Smith handles my football operations. He does a great job organizing our trips, and so we're not going to change anything about what we do on the road.
Now, you said opposition, but we've played some tough teams and beaten them on the road.
We have.
Cumberland, we've won there. Campbellsville, Lindsey Wilson is a very tough place to play. We won in some big shootouts. So you can say competition, but you still have to go up there and do it.
Right, that's right. And so, like I said, we're going to continue to do what we've been doing on the road. Whether that'll equal undefeated on the road, I don't know. I mean, this league is so tough. We're playing 4 teams on our schedule that were in the playoffs last year, all 4 playoff teams. You know, we're playing some of our crossover games. Obviously, Georgetown, first time we ever played them, that's the traditionally great team in the league. Pikeville, we're also playing this year. I think they were voted 2nd in the league. So it's a very tough schedule. Point, we know very little about Point. So there's going to be an ambush set down there for us. So every week, this is a really good league that we play in, so we got to be ready to play all
And
the time.
the league did you absolutely no favors by moving Lindsey Wilson from one division into ours.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's a tough division we play in. It's a tough conference we play in. But that's okay. I mean, that hopefully will help prepare teams. If we want to be a playoff team, we got to be able to win these games in this league. And then hopefully if we are good enough to do that, then that's prepared us to play teams from other conferences. So that's the goal here.
All right, we'll have more with head Reinhardt football coach Drew Cronic after this short timeout. Keep it where it is. This is the Reinhardt University Coaches Show, first edition of the 2015-16 season. We'll be right back.
For more information on Reinhardt Athletics, visit the website at reinhardteagles.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Shape your life and build your future at Reinhardt University. Learn in small classes taught by professors who build community as they share knowledge. Make your home on Reinhardt's beautiful campus or take classes at selected locations. For more than 130 years, the Reinhardt experience has extended beyond the classroom to include sports, music, clubs, and much more. Reinhardt University, shaping lives, building futures.
Buffalo's Cafe in Canton is a proud sponsor of Reinhardt football. Visit them for lunch or dinner at 1625 Ball Ground Highway in Canton. Reinhardt University Coaches Show keeps going. I'm John Morgo, play-by-play voice of the Reinhardt University Football Eagles. Jason Haynes, Sports Information Director, normally in this chair. He is not available today. We'll see him a little further on down the line. I'm here with new Reinhardt football coach Drew Cronic, and we say new, he's new in the head spot, not for this university. 3 years gone on, and Coach, this is the 3rd year of the program, so all newness, the new smell is gone, but you've got some good kids here. They've grown up in this program, and now this is their time to show what they can do. Yeah,
I mean, we should be really good from a leadership standpoint. There's been kids, we had took a picture today of all the guys that have been here since day one. I want to say it was about 25 kids, which is really good. They've been through 2 seasons. They had a great start the first year and really exceeded expectations. And in some ways last year we may have felt like we underachieved, and I think when you go through ups and downs like that, then you really figure out you've got to earn the right to win football games. You got to earn the right, every year to be good. And I think they understand that now. We've had a tremendous camp, great leadership on the team. The ones we brought in we got good kids, So it's been very exciting working with them, and how good we're going to be, I don't know, but I like our football team. I like our players, and I think we will be as good as we can be.
All right, let's talk about the offense for a little bit. The last 2 seasons have been kind of a rotation between Jonathan Chamblee and Ryan Thompson. Mm-hmm. Are we going to expect more of the same here in year 3?
Yeah, I think probably so. They're both those kids are good kids, or they have each their own abilities. They're different guys, but they both have been productive for us. So they're competitors. They're tough kids, and if the kid taking the snaps is a tough kid and a competitor, he gives you a chance every Saturday. Got some other guys we've been looking at. Ricky James, who was in the program last year, had a pulled hamstring earlier in the week, but he's extremely athletic. So you never know if he may pop up out there. And then a young guy named Jay Ashley that we signed from Whitewater High School just came in as a freshman and really does some good things. So we're giving those guys reps, and competition should. It's always good to have competition. I think that makes everybody better. Or I don't want them ever feeling comfortable. I want them always feeling like somebody's pushing them. So, but you feel good when you have guys that have played as much as Ryan Thompson and Jonathan Chamblee have. You got some experience in there.
And looking to the backfield, the one name that always pops up, that of L.J. Stegall, mm-hmm. Seems like, with apologies to Chris Carter, all he does is score touchdowns. And it seemed like that the league was trying to catch up with him last year. First year absolutely blew everybody away. The league was trying to figure out a way to stop him, figure a way to key on him. What have you done this season to try and make sure that he gets his touches in the open backfield?
I'm probably not going to give away too much on that.
Right.
But LJ was the leading rusher in the conference last year. So he had a pretty good year last year as well as the first year. I think he was the offensive freshman of the year the first year. So we got to get him the ball in space. We got to find different ways to get him the ball in space, and it can't be the same thing all the time, because people can take one or two things away from you. So we're going to throw him the football some. We got to get him the ball on kick returns. But he's a special player, and he's a great kid. He's a hard worker. He's the kind of kid who, even though he may be one of your best or second best football players on the team, he doesn't come across that way. He comes to work every day and gets things done. He's a good student. So we definitely got to find different ways to get him the ball in space, because he certainly can take it to the house.
Now, that first day that he came in for his first practice, did you know you had something special with him?
Well, we knew from his high school evaluation that he was extremely explosive, had great speed. The first year, when we just had the practice year, we knew he was pretty good, but we didn't really know until we put the uniforms on and played against Mercer that first year just how explosive he was. And he returned the kickoff for a touchdown, that very first game, and since then, he's one of the most explosive, fast, kind of guys that he can go at any time, So we're working hard with him. We don't want to turn him. He makes so many plays, he breaks so many tackles. We got to make sure we protect the ball with him. Sometimes that becomes an issue, but it's because he's trying to score every time he gets the ball. So did I know what I had when we signed him? I thought, man, he might be pretty good, but he's really exceeded expectations.
He definitely sure has. And looking over your wideout situations, Sam Jones, Tyler Bradley, and I know there's one other name that I just can't.
Aaron Kennedy.
That's the one, Aaron Kennedy.
Yep.
Aaron Kennedy, Sam Jones, Tyler Bradley. You got a very good wideout combination. How have they been looking?
They've been looking good. Elliott Clark's another one in that group. Those kids have been here the whole time. We're moving Sam around a little bit, but Aaron Kennedy's just a guy who makes plays, and you can't explain when he walks in. He looks like might be one of the managers, but he's just a player. He's a great player. Tyler Bradley has so much athletic ability. He really finished camp strong. 6'4", can run. Those are those two split end kind of guys, and there may be another guy or two play at that position. And then what we call our Z-back, Elliott Clark does a great job there. Great blocker. We give it to him occasionally, and he does good things when we give him the ball. Got a young guy, Andy Wisnett.
Right.
Andy Wisnett, number 2, who has a lot of ability. He redshirted last year. Kid can run, can do some things. So he's a guy we're looking to have a big year. Sam Jones seems like he gives me at least one big play per game. He gets loose one time per game at least. So those guys, we've got to, we have an offense that a lot of people touch the ball, and we got to, so they can't key in on one person. And so we got to make sure we get them the ball different ways, whether it's the jet sweep, whether we're throwing them the football, whether it's our little reverse or whatever we're doing. And on third down, I'm usually looking to try to get it to number 4.
I can't. I can't tell you how many third and long plays I've called and I've said, okay, Aaron Kennedy's going to get the ball.
Yeah, well,
and he does, and he gets a first down.
Right, and he just has a knack for that, so I expect those guys to be even better. They've got another year under their belt, another year in the weight room. I expect them to be, even better players.
All right, well, that does it for this segment. We're going to talk defense after this timeout, so keep it where it is. We are previewing Reinhardt University football right here on the Reinhardt University Coaches Show. Buffalo's Cafe in Canton is a proud sponsor of Reinhardt football. Visit them for lunch or dinner at 1625 Ball Ground Highway in Canton.
Shape your life and build your future at Reinhardt University. Learn in small classes taught by professors who build community as they share knowledge. Make your home on Reinhardt's beautiful campus or take classes at selected locations. For more than 130 years, the Reinhardt experience has extended beyond the classroom to include sports, music, clubs, and much more. Reinhardt University, shaping lives, building futures.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
For more information on Reinhardt Athletics, visit the website at reinhardteagles.com.
Well, we're back with the third and final segment of the Reinhardt University Coaches Show. I'm John Morgo, play-by-play voice of the Reinhardt University Football Eagles, sitting in for Jason Haynes, who will be with you a little later on this season. And like I said, we're talking football with new Reinhardt coach Drew Cronic stepping in for the, I don't want to say shoes, but I am going to say bucket hat of his father, Dr. Danny Cronic. And are you going to pull out the bucket hat for this season?
I don't know. We'll see. Main thing I wear a hat for is make sure I don't get sunburn on my head. So we'll see what I pull out.
Okay. Well, as I promoted on our last break, we want to talk defense. And first of all, let's talk about, you touched on this a little earlier, Tommy Scott is your new defensive coordinator. What does he bring to the table?
Years and years of experience. Coached at the college level. Coached at the University of Georgia, coached at Western Carolina, has coached at several high schools, been a head coach. Just a guy who's been around, who's studied it, who knows what he's doing from a scheme standpoint, knows how to teach kids. So very blessed that, we knew when we hired Tommy, the year before that he would be a guy who would be a coordinator guy if that opportunity came up, and he's done an unbelievable job with that. And then, of course, we've hired some other guys back there with Greg Blue coaching our safeties, Brad Lindemood coaching our corners, and then also obviously Quentin Moses has been with us on our defensive line. We have an outstanding defensive staff, and part of my job is hire good folks, and I think we've been able to really get some good people in on both sides of the ball, and like I said, our kind of leading into our secondary. I've never seen such a dramatic change. We got a group of guys who have been here with us for a while. Tremendous leadership and making plays, playing physical, really up in your face kind of guys. Our coaches back there have done a great job with those guys. So wanted to make sure I hit on that because I'm really proud of the way we've developed and come on, especially on the back end of the defense back there.
And the defense really came on strong at the back end of last season.
They did.
First season, you had to win shootouts almost out of necessity, and it was that way a little bit toward the start of the season. But once we moved into the later part, and especially that last game, even though it was a disappointing loss to Campbellsville, you don't blame the defense for that one. They played the best game that I've ever seen.
We've continued as a program to improve defensively. I would expect our defense to be the strength of our football team this year, just from what I've seen in camp. They're invested, they're balled in, they're playing, they're flying to the ball. Up front, we got, I think, maybe the best nose guard in the league in Leonard Robinson, just a great football player. We got athletic defensive ends there, Hunter Oswald and Javier Dyer. And then we got guys behind them that can play. I mean, we're pretty deep on the defensive line. And a lot of those guys have been here for a while. Our linebackers are athletic. They run around. Just thinking about some different guys like Jacob Gross and A.J. Thomas and some different guys that are really athletic at linebacker. So I feel like we're ready to be really good on defense, and I'm hoping that's going to be what we can hang our hat on and really be the strength of our football team.
And Marcus Miller, who was a freshman last year, all he does is lead the team in tackles.
It's crazy, He's just a guy who walks in. He's got a 4.0 GPA. He hardly says anything. And when we blow the whistle and we kick it off or whatever's happening out there, he just shows up and makes plays. He's just one of them kind of guys. So he was the defensive freshman of the year in the conference last year, and so hopefully we'll see another big year out of him.
I don't mean to make fun of him, but he went to Marist. They have the same color scheme, same mascots.
Yeah, he probably feels pretty comfortable here.
Feels pretty much at home.
Absolutely.
So you touched on the secondary. What about the corners?
The corners are playing with Christian Hills. Had a tremendous camp. Senior captain, has all the tools. Has just really gotten comfortable over there. Very physical. We got a guy named Nick Johnson's another senior who's. He was a guy before the season. He was a guy I was pulling for to have a good fall. He's had one so far. So I feel like those two guys are really solid in there. And then we have some more, some younger guys. We're trying to get ready to back them up. But those two kids have had a really good camp.
And the safeties is pretty much in the same.
Right. You look back there, you got a guy named DJ Brown who's played a lot for us. A guy named Calvin Robertson who's just who's had an unbelievable camp. Just come on, one of those really quarterback of the defense kind of guys. He's a great communicator, high achiever. He's a good athlete, but he's a really good football player. We talk about Marcus Miller being one of our rovers. Juice Arnold's come on at what we call our dog position and really had a good camp. So I'm excited to see what those guys are going to do.
And remember, Juice, the very first play that Reinhardt has had, he had an interception against
right.
Mercer.
That's exactly right. That'd be good if he could do that again the first play of the game this year.
Exactly, against Point. Let's just take a moment to talk special teams. I remember last year, Reinhardt was auditioning for kickers by putting up flyers in some of the dorms. That's
right.
not the case this year, is it?
Well, we got a guy named Nick Marquez we signed from Brookwood. He looks pretty good. He was kicking it in the end zone on the kickoffs yesterday. Really strong leg. He'll do some of our punting for us as well. So you never know until you get a guy in a game what he's going to do. But I feel like that we've been able to maybe shore up that deal, and I think obviously kicking some more field goals there might be the difference in some of those tight games.
Well, if you got a kid from Gwinnett County with that incredible experience, you got to be happy with that.
And he's done a great job. He's really into it. He works hard, and he's a really good athlete. So we can maybe, there might be some other things we can do with him as well.
And now you have another interesting dilemma, something you probably haven't had before. You're recruiting kids to take kids places.
Sure.
Now, first couple of years, you're just, okay, we need to get people in their positions. But now it's like, okay, we need to develop other people, develop replacements. How's that been going for you?
It's been going good. You try to recruit to be better than what you already have. But at the same time, if your older kids have a lot of character and invest in the program, they won't let them youngins come in and take their spot, So you end up with a great deal of competition. It's been very healthy so far. It's been a very healthy competition. So there are some young players that are going to pop up, and you're going to start saying their name over the radio a lot. And I'm excited about those guys. But our upperclassmen have come in and been ready to go, and they hang on to their stuff pretty well, So it's been a good camp. I'm excited about seeing what some new guys we haven't had out there before, how they respond. But it's going to be about our guys that have been around. How strong can they be? How tough can they be when it's hardest in the fourth quarter? And can they win close games when we really need them to?
And it'll kick off August 29th against Point University. Schedule will go back and forth, home away, home away, home away. So it'll be a nice rhythm for you.
Sure, and we got 2 open weeks in there. Open week after the first game. I've always liked that because I think you make your biggest improvements from the first game to the second game, so that gives us a little time there. But it's going to be a tough schedule, and we got to come ready to go every week.
Absolutely. All right, Coach Cronic, thank you for joining us here on the inaugural 2015-16 edition of the Reinhardt University Coaches Show. I'm John Morgo. Thank you very much for joining us. There's still tickets available for the Reinhardt football home campaign, so go online at ReinhardtEagles.com. Get yours because they'll be going fast. We'll see you on the gridiron. Thanks for joining us.
For more information on Reinhardt Athletics, visit the website at ReinhardtEagles.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Shape your life and build your future at Reinhardt University. Learn in small classes taught by professors who build community as they share knowledge. Make your home on Reinhardt's beautiful campus or take classes at selected locations. For more than 130 years, the Reinhardt experience has extended beyond the classroom to include sports, music, clubs, and much more. Reinhardt University, shaping lives, building futures.
Buffalo's Cafe in Canton is a proud sponsor of Reinhardt football. Visit them for lunch or dinner at 1625 Ball Ground Highway in Canton.